recipes for technical trading success in Cook's Kitchen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cook's Kitchen. I'm going to talk about 5 stocks from my neighborhood today. We'll start off with AMD and NVDA, both with big news this week. I mean, first, AMD has just been a powerhouse, soaring to 110 and now to 120 today, Wednesday. And you know, one of the biggest drivers this week is that they're going into Mac Pro, the Radeon Pro W6000X series GPU, bringing high performance to the Mac Pro. So that's pretty exciting, and that's why you're seeing AMD up to 120 today. Now, this could also be a pivot off of the fact that while AMD is going to get to buy Xilinx with UK approval, UK regulators might stand in the way of NVIDIA buying ARM. You know, this deal has always been controversial because ARM makes architecture for mobile devices for just about everybody else. So, you know, there were a lot of probes among interested parties from Apple to Qualcomm and everybody in between that, you know, what access would NVIDIA have to all this IP, and you know, would that create antitrust or just IP issues? So let's take a look at the stocks real quick. Oh, there's Robinhood. We're going to come back to Robinhood. So let's just see AMD blasting higher. I mean, look at this volume. This volume has been incredible, and it just keeps going. So to give you a perspective on how big this volume is, let's zoom out a little bit. I mean, you don't see any volume like this. You have to go back to, last summer, you know, to see any kind of volume like that. Here was last summer when AMD launches. You know, they're clobbering Intel. This was a day where AMD in July, like July 24th, traded 205 million shares and was up 16%, while Intel was down 16% because Intel just can't cut it in the sub 10 nanometer world, and AMD can for notebooks and laptops and whatnot. Then we consolidate for a while, like, you know, are they going to get to buy Xilinx? And so this volume you're seeing here, you know, 165 million. Today is already at 169 million, and we've got there's 3 hours left in the trading day, and we're already at 169 million. Just incredible. Anybody who was short, pity the fools who thought they were going to short AMD. I've been telling people all year to buy it between 75 and 80, and you know, so you've made good coin there. Let's take a look at AMC, falling below. Oh boy, they're about to crack 30. This is on June 21st. I said, buy AMD, sell AMC, and they're basically inversely correlated. You know, AMD's up over 35%. AMC is down close to 40%. And there it goes, cracking this support here at 31. You know, he gave it filled the gap from June 2nd, you know, down into 31. You know, nice little double bottom test, tweezer kind of thing, and it's going to be bye below 30 soon. All right, but enough of that. NVIDIA. So what's going on with NVIDIA? So the good news is that this story comes out from Bloomberg last night that UK regulators might stand in the way of NVIDIA buying ARM from SoftBank for $40 billion, and the stock barely flinched. We were like 198, 201 for the first hour this morning, and now we're back to 3-week highs here. We're going to get into getting above 202, which is beautiful. So loving that. Okay, let's talk about the hood a little bit. What is going on here? So I hear that the Wall Street Bets Reddit crowd, you know, was anti-hood because, you know, Robinhood does payment for order flow, and they don't like that, and that's like being in cahoots with Citadel. So I don't know if they were short it, but somebody was short some Robinhood, some Hood shares, because this thing just ripped faces off today. Let's look at how it opened. We'll look at a 15-minute chart. So here you are closing around 46.50 yesterday, and then opens around 55, and in the first half hour you're up above 84. So some shorts got pasted there. I wonder if some of the Wall Street bets crowd was short and encouraging others to be short, and they got a phone call or a margin call of some kind this morning. But I mean, look at the stock here now. Hey, it's probably a worthy investment. I don't know if it should double from its IPO price, but I'm going to stay away from it for now. All right, let's talk about Square, because cool things happening in Square. They made this acquisition, Afterpay, $29 billion. Sounds pricey, but Square just keeps building out the ecosystem. That's what I keep talking about here. So this was monster volume here. This was 45 million shares. You haven't seen that in a year since their year ago August earnings report. Traded like 40 million. So here's 45 million here. Shorts got caught here. I was telling we're long from like 207 or something. We always buy the dips down to the 200. And I told my people last week, if you get a chance on this pullback here, if you can buy something 245, 250, do it. And you got 2 days to do it. And I imagine some other folks were getting short there because they got smoked on Monday after Square reported earnings early and then announced the acquisition. So let's talk about the Square ecosystem. Let's see. Where did I write this piece? We got to find some Square here. All right, I'm just going to go to my commentary. Type in the old SQ. Oh, maybe it was in this report. Yeah, it was last night. So I'm talking about Square here. Finally you're starting to see the big price target upgrades, and that's all great. I've always followed Dan Dolev, who is now with Mizuho. His price target right now is 380. He's always been higher than the street, and he loved Square 3 years ago when it was trading $40, and nobody liked it, and he was always the high street price target at 100. And he helped me get interested in the ecosystem Square. But the other guy who did was Jamie Dimon, because in 2019, Jamie Dimon basically was asked a question about, somebody asked him at a JPM investor conference, Jamie, how can anybody really compete with JP Morgan? I mean, you guys are doing everything right. You've got so much leverage, so much momentum, yada, yada, yada. And instead of talking about his own company, Jamie Dimon says, well, I like those guys over there, what they're doing. I wish we would have done that. Square did everything right. They make a dongle, and then they, these are not his words, but the way I say it is, once a small business person uses that dongle to take credit cards, Square said, let us show you what else we can do for you. Let us do some accounting services for you. Let us do some marketing services for you. Let us make your business easy. And that's how they built the ecosystem. So I started calling them the Apple of FinTech, where they're offering so many new services. So that's why last year I said Square is Jamie Dimon's favorite mistake, because it's all about a financial ecosystem that empowers the small business person with friendly payments tools, frictionless banking and accounting, data and marketing tools, and ease of access to other financial services. So these are the two big dynamics for Square. It's the ecosystem for small business, and it's also Square encroaching on traditional legacy big bank business that people don't want to use if they don't have to. So this is the piece I wrote last year. The Apple of FinTech surpassed JP Morgan in every way to build the premier small business digital ecosystem. All right, so now so now Square buys this Afterpay, and if you don't know what Afterpay is, it's sort of like it's not layaway. It's you get to take the thing home now, but you pay in 4 installments, interest free, and they have a way to track it all, and obviously, manage the credit aspect of the business, and they've been doing it for a while. Obviously, Square thought they were doing it so well that they wanted to pay $29 billion and just plug it in, plug and play. Dorsey is using stock to pay for it, so now. Now it's fintech services for everyone. So this is really what I see as the third sort of revolution at Square, is not just building everything for the small merchant, but now fintech services for everyone. And it creates this feedback loop between the two people that Square is serving, both consumers and merchants. So I said the integration of Afterpay as a firebrand to further connect the seller and the Cash App ecosystems. Obviously, it accelerates the volume and velocity of payment flows with higher consumer business engagement. And it expands Square's total addressable market right into the beachheads of every big bank. So I hope the math is simple. It just drives more commerce opportunities between consumers and merchants, pushing higher monetization per user. Square is they're going to keep pushing that higher. They're going to get X number of dollars per user per month. And here's another way I sum it up for people who aren't familiar with Square. It's also an exponential takeover as consumers look for DeFi solutions, and Square isn't pretending to be a traditional bank that says, hey, why don't you give us your money and deposit it with us? Let us hold your money for you so we can earn some net interest margin. Old school business there. Square saying, hey, let us be the conduit to whatever you want to do with your money or business. And while you're checking things out, we can also do this, and this for you at some of the lowest costs and lowest red tape. And so that's how Square is winning fintech. And it trades at a fraction of PayPal's price to sales ratio. I want to say PayPal's trading at like at least 10 times price to sales, and Square is still at 5 times sales. So bottom line, don't sell Square and always buy the dips. All right, one more stock before we go. I just want to look at Qualcomm because they got some bad news the other day. Great earnings, and we popped up here. The bad news was that Google's not going to rely on them for chips for their handsets, for the Google phones anymore. And Google's just going to build their own chips. Well, that hardly did anything to Qualcomm, so that's kind of cool. So Qualcomm is still extremely important in 5G build out, and so we continue to own it there. All right, that's some of the stocks in my hood. Watch out for that Robin Hood. Talk to you next week.